Kanagiri Educational Management Program now presents emerging political trends 1977 to 2000 part 1 social studies of 10th class chapter 18. When we look closely at the political events in contemporary India, so what basically we realized is many of the events and issues divided and even polarized the political landscape of our country. So, as a result, we witnessed a change in party system and the emergence of competitive multi-party system. With the results, no single party was able to form a government on its own. We have witnessed series of coalition governments at the center. Basically, we used to have only single party, and then a change in political system has been taken place. So that is known as emergence of competitive multi-party system. And then we could witness a series of coalition governments. Coalition means forming government with more than two parties. So at the center. So we will go into details. Major changes has been taken place in economic and development strategies. The tension between the economic of market and the politics of democracy began to play during this period. Old issues like religion and caste differences repackaged and used for political mobilization. And then it is very clear, and then they have used the differences of caste and religions and then mobilizing the people. We will also examine the issues of contemporary period with a reference to their impact. So what basically is fundamental values of constitutions like democracy, unity and integrity and social and economic change. So what has happened to these basic fundamental values of constitution? The views may be differ with person to person during this period. So it is suggested that everyone should try to understand the perspective or perception of others. Everyone has different perception, and with an open mind, and also should express their own views without offending others. The basic principle is everyone has their perception is maybe differ, their perspective may be different, but while expressing their own views, they are not supposed to offend others, other feelings, other religious, other caste, whatever may be, other political parties. So, return of democracy after emergency. The period between 1975 and 1985 was a testing period for Indian democracy. Why we say testing period for Indian democracy? Let us study what has happened to democracy. It began with the single state of emergency in which basic democratic rights were denied, and ended with the historic election victory of Congress party led by Mr. Rajiv Gandhi, though it began and ended with the rule of Congress party. So basically, the state of emergency in which the basic democratic rights were denied to many, and that it was something called seriousness of emergency, and then it has affected many. The basic principle of democratic rights were denied. We have witnessed the emergence of variable alternative to the Congress at both the center and states. And then we used to have only one party, that is Congress party at the center, and it was ruling all the time. And then subsequently, because of this emergency, And the other parties have realized, and then they started their own coalition form, and then they would like to fight with the Congress. So that's what happened. From single party democracy prevented to multi party system, these emergence of new parties ensured the Indian voter choosing a reasonable choice. It was one way a right thing that emergence of new political parties has have come, and then electorate was having choice of elections. Political viewpoint of socialist, Hindu nationalist, communist, as well as sectional interest like those of farmers, Dalits, backward classes, regions based on their development because of disparities among the other regions. So these are the groups basically, and they have affected the system like farmers, Dalit, backward classes, and regions also. Apart from this also, we could witness non-political movements like environmental movements, feminist movement, civil liberties movement, and literacy movement. These movements emerged as powerful motors of social change. Basically, these are non-political, but it has had its own impact, and then it worked as a powerful motors of social change. So these are the very interesting points to be understood. And then what happened in 1977 election and end of emergency? The election were announced in January 1977, and no one expected elections, and it was surprise to all opposition parties. The major opposition parties decided to unite and fight against the Congress party. Earlier we have discussed. So who were united? So let us see Congress O, and then Swatantra, Bharatiya Janasangh, Bharatiya Lokdal, socialist parties, and formed a people's party called Janata Party. So they have realized, and then they thought of fighting with the Congress. Basically, Congress was one, it was divided into Congress R and Congress O. And then Congress O, here the definition by the conservative section of the Congress, the old people of the Congress which had opposed the policies of Indira Gandhi, and then they formed a separate Congress O group. And then in Punjab, Shiromani Akali Dal was there, and then they were united, and then they would like to fight against Congress and forming a Janata Party. So it was quite interesting, and then the senior leaders like Mr. Jay Prakash Narayan and Acharya J.B. Kripalani, so they played an important role in bringing together all to the anti-Congress in spite of social and political and ideological differences they have. They have all the other differences like social, political, and ideological differences. But in spite of that, they were united with the common agenda being the defeat of the Congress. It was being the historical for the Indian democracy. So as we said, the Congress party was defeated at national level for the first time, and the Janata Party came to power. Here we need to understand what Janata Party has done. So let us see in the next slides. So interestingly, Mr. Neelam Sanjeev Reddy of Andhra Pradesh, elected as the Speaker of the 6th Lok Sabha on 26th March 1977. Later he was elected unopposed as the only President of India. To be elected being unanimously, try to understand, unanimously supported by all political parties and sworn as the sixth President of India on 25th July 1977. So normally earlier the president elections were it was more away from the traditional parties of party based politics, but this is the being the first time unopposed and not following the traditional way of selections. Then it was great that unopposed Mr. Neelam Sanjeeva Reddy was elected as sixth President of India on 25th July 1977. And then it is interesting to note that during Mr. Neelam Sanjeeva Reddy period, he has to work with three governments under the Prime Ministers of, one being Morarji Desai, and then second is Mr. Charan Singh, and third is Mrs. Indira Gandhi. Why he has to work with the three Prime Ministers? Let us see. So what went wrong with the Janata Party? So before going to that, I think let us study brief about Neelam Sanjeeva Reddy. He born on 19th May 1913. And then he was the sixth President of India, as we said, serving from 1977 to 1982. Beginning a long political career with the Indian National Congress Party in the Indian independence movement. As the first Chief Minister of Andhra Pradesh, a two-time Speaker of Lok Sabha, and a Union Minister before becoming the youngest ever Indian President. So this is most important, we have to note. So born in peasant or farmer's family, Anantapur district, Andhra Pradesh, Reddy completed his schooling at Adyar and joined the Government Arts College of Anantapur. The first Chief Minister of Andhra Pradesh in 1956, he was a Union Cabinet Minister under Prime Minister Lal Bahadur Shastri and Indira Gandhi from 1964 to 67 in Lok Sabha. And then again we would like to know more about him. And then this is being the additional information for the benefit of the students. Speaker from 1967 to 1969. He later retired from active politics but returned in 1975, responding to Jayaprakash Narayan's call for total revolution against the Indira Gandhi government. So he joined Janata Party. And then subsequently he has been elected in Parliament in 1977 as a candidate of the Janata Party. Reddy was unanimously elected Speaker of the 6th Lok Sabha and 3 months later was elected unopposed. Again we are saying unopposed as President of India. As President, Reddy worked with Prime Minister Morarji Desai. Earlier we have discussed Charan Singh and Indira Gandhi. Reddy was succeeded by Gyani Jail Singh in 1982 and he retired to his farm in Anantapur. Okay. So he died in 1996 at his Samadhi is at Kalpalli Burial Grounds, Bangalore. Next slide. The victorious Janata Party attempted to consolidate itself by dismissing the 9 Congress government in the states. Basically what wrong they have done is, once they were in power, so like Congress government only, the same the Janata Party government has also done the same. Its stand was somewhat vindicated. So here vindicated is a very peculiar word, and then it having or showing a strong or unreasoning desire for revenge. So they have replaced 9 Congress governments in the states. This was a blunder mistake. The reason being the victory, because they could able to get in UP, MP, Rajasthan, Bihar, and a victory of CPM in West Bengal, DAMK in Tamil Nadu. They thought, I think, the other 9 Congress ruled states should also be taken revenge. So they have dismissed the 9 Congress governments in the states. So that was the major blunder mistake that has been taken by Janata Party. And then one more being, then Janata Party had come to power promising a restoration of democracy. Here we need to understand democracy. But again, what Congress has done, the same has been done by this Janata Party. And then they came to power upholding the democracy. But they could not do that. So again, I would like to repeat, the Janata Party had come to power promising a restoration of democracy and freedom from authoritarian rule. But it has not been done. Janata Party failed to do so because of the following reasons. The internal squabbles, the fighting, and then because many parties are associated, dismay among the partner parties, they don't understand each other, they don't agree, and then defections finally. So these are the main. And then apart from that, the factional struggle in the party soon culminated in the fall of the government within 3 years. So we could understand, because they were very right, and then they opposed Congress, they united, they fought and elected, but they could not retain not more than 3 years. Again leading a fresh election in 1980. So again what has happened? Again elections has been held. So this time I think the voters realized, because the Janata Party has not done anything, then there was no option left to them. Then they have voted against Congress. The Congress returned to power in 1980. The Congress immediately paid back in Janata in the same coin by dismissing Janata and non-Congress. Again, the Congress also done the same thing. So they have also dismissed the 9 states. So where the Janata Party was ruling. So it was really damaging to that party. So the Congress victorious in all states except Tamil Nadu and West Bengal. So these 2 states, they could not withstand, but all the states, they got very good majority. Here we have to understand 2 things. The action of both Janata and the Congress governments. What they have done is weakened the federal principles and backed a more centralized position. So this was really wrong. And then the people of many states felt alienated and wanted a greater autonomy and then lower interference in state matters, misuse of power from the center. So this is really being the need of authority for the state. Every time any government changes, and then they would like to dismiss the governments. So I think this is not fair. And then people of many states felt, again I am repeating, alienated and wanted a greater autonomy, lower interference in state matters, misuse of power from the centers. So what has happened? Let us see. So since there was no clear guidelines in the constitution in this regard, many central government often misused Article 356. The 356 articles has been misused by the parties, those who are ruling, to harass or dismiss state governments headed by the opposition parties. This has been done by the Congress, this has been done by Janata Party. But finally, in 1994, is an important judgment in the Supreme Court laid down strict norms for the use of article by the central government. So they made some kind of restrictions such that, so since then such misuse of power has become rare. So this is part 1, and then we will come to part 2, and then we will discuss how regional parties has emerged, and then what role they have played and what is going to happen. So I think you could able to understand well, and then I wish you good luck. Thank you very much.